assalamu alaikum, good morning, khusham-deed, ji ayanu, goeiemorgen.
Pagkairagale, ni hao, tunashume, washmane, ohio genzaimes, guten morgen, hola, bonjour, privyet, kaifahal, haleshuma chatore, ahlan wasalan marhaba, buna, mucho, gracias, swabi, and a very amazing good morning to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and are watching World this morning alongside the very fantastic, the very fabulous Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Hello Shiza, how are you today?
Thank you for asking. I'm doing absolutely great, but what we need to find out is how you are because, you know, I told everyone yesterday why you were absent.
Yeah.
So tell us all about it.
Okay, so yeah, it's a sad story, ladies and gentlemen, but it's all right. You know, it's part of life. You know, there are ups and downs as well. So day before, yesterday, no, yes, it was yesterday, and ladies and gentlemen, so everybody over here in Islamabad and Rawalpindi knows that there was a thunderstorm. And nobody expected the thunderstorm to be so loud and so destructive, and it's because of the fact that, you know, just that night around 1 p.m. when I was about to sleep, so I have to, you know, 1 a.m. I have to take a medicine. So I stepped outside to just get a glass of water, and as soon as I stepped outside, I could feel my feet submerged in water.
Oh no.
And all of a sudden I was so worried. I was like, oh, you know, what's going on? So the roof was dripping, and, you know, there was water coming out of my washrooms, which is a little tacky, but it's all right, you know. So apparently, you know, the pipes were blocked, the water wasn't flowing, and eventually a lot of furniture and a lot of things were destroyed. But alhamdulillah, yeah, so we managed to kind of wipe the water off. But I believe that it's an alert for everybody who's out there that just because of global warming and climate change, that we are actually going to witness such kind of thunder showers as well, or probably, you know, when it was summers, it was very hot. Now when it's going to be winter, it's going to be very cold as well. But what I want you to do is just please keep an eye and please make sure that all the ducts, you know, it's just a basic message that please make sure that all the ducts and the pipes should actually be open so that the water can flow easily. Otherwise, water finds its way, and if it's from or through your house, that's a bad one. Yeah, but everything's fine now.
No,
What
I'm
about
so
you?
happy everything's okay. And for all the people living out there, you know, who, you know, unfortunately do not have a shelter to be in or a roof to be under. It was so hard for them to go through this storm.
Exactly.
I mean, I just want everyone out there to be safe. So my heart goes out to you if you have suffered through this.
Yeah.
But I really hope for the ones who did not, I mean, you enjoyed a lot because, of course, Shahzad, you know, when it comes to rain and hailing, it's such a beautiful view. In Islamabad, you really feel like going out and being a part of it.
I think we had a wonderful time because my father, me, myself, and my wife, and, you know, one of our guards as well. So we all had vipers. We were viper warriors, and we kind of, you know,
Must be a
just
fun
taken out the
activity.
water. And, you know, the most hard part was that, okay, the only reason why I missed out on the show was that I actually worked out for my back in the gym, and I could feel a little, you know, painful and restlessness. And then eventually, for wiping the water out of the house for 2 hours, you know, my back was just like that.
Oh, no.
So I was like, okay, you know, I probably need to take rest.
No, but you did the right thing. So here's the thing. I'm so sorry I
ahead.
have to cut you over here. So when you were not here yesterday, we talked about one very important thing.
Right.
You know, yesterday was International Day for Older Persons,
Yes,
right?
yes.
And one very
and I so
important...
wanted to do the show.
I
yeah.
know. You were so anxious to do it.
Yeah.
But you know, a very good thing, a very important point that we mentioned was how when people retire with so much knowledge, with so much expertise, they do not have anything to do. What rather they should do is, you know, rather than sitting at home, they should be mentors to the upcoming generation.
Exactly.
You know, they should be probably hired or employed in such a way that the new coming generation, although of course, newer people should come in, but they should be trained by the ones who've been there before, right?
Exactly, and I think that you've actually hit the nail on the head too as well, because this is the kind of conversation I was having with my father after his retirement.
Okay.
And I was like, you know, you've got so much knowledge, you've got so much experience, you can share it with your sons at least. So and he goes like that, you know, okay, so whatever I've learned it myself, and it is for you to learn. Go ahead, learn it yourself. I'm not going to help you. And I was like, you know, then what's the point of having a father who's actually been recognized by the outer world as well, the kind of service he's done for the nation? What's the point in it? And then he was like that, you know, if I'm going to support you in all of these matters, there'll be a day that you'll actually be dependent on me. That's a good idea partially, but, you know, the point you've made, I believe in it, and I think that all of those people who've actually retired, you know, or think that they do not have anything, you are our mentors.
Absolutely.
You know, and we want this society to be inclusive. Each and every day we want to learn from our parents, from all of those elderly people who are around us. Please never be shy of saying anything to us. But yeah, you can say it nicely as well, because for all of those people who have crossed 65 or 70 years of age, I don't know why. Whenever they reply, you know, I do not want to use the word, but everybody understands.
No,
Yeah.
but I absolutely love people of older age because for the very same reason, they don't
Yeah.
have a filter. They'll be true to you in your face.
Exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're actually talking about people who have been amazing in their fields and
Yeah.
now they're training, the upcoming generation to take their places. And especially when we are talking about this, we're talking about an amazing educationist who spent all his life, teaching people, mentoring people of so many
Yeah.
different grades. And even after retirement,
Yeah.
he is not retired. Imagine after retirement, he's still teaching, bachelor's level.
Yeah.
And also teaching, training actually teachers. I don't know why. This
Yeah,
is such
so-
a tongue twister.
Yeah, so today, ladies and gentlemen, I feel very proud, and it's because of the fact that I never knew earlier that there was actually a government college which actually trains teachers.
Wow.
So for the very first time, I got to know that, and we are very thankful that the ex-principal of that college has actually taken out time. He's over here with us on the show. Ladies and gentlemen, with us today, we have Chaudhry Abdul Rahman Sahab, who's going to speak about teacher training. Assalamu alaikum, sir. How are you?
Salam.
Sir, thank you very
I
much
am
for
fine.
joining us.
I am fine. It is a matter of gratification to me to be invited in this program.
It's our pleasure, sir.
Wow, it's great.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you
Our
very
pleasure,
much,
sir.
The world of teaching is my kingdom.
Wow.
Wow.
The world of teaching is my kingdom.
Yep.
Opens a new vista of wisdom.
It
Exactly.
does, of course.
Teaching is in my blood. Still, I am teaching.
And what do you have to say about poetry? So teaching is in your blood, but what about poetry?
I think it's in your blood as
Yes.
well.
While I was student at Emerson College, Multan.
Okay.
My professor Ataur Rahman was checking my homework, and while checking my homework, he said, "Mr. Rahman, you stand up." I stood up, and he asked me, "Are you an English poet?" I said, "No, sir, but your style of writing shows that you are an English poet."
Okay.
It was an incentive to me,
Yeah.
and I began to write poetry.
Wow.
At
So-
10 years
First
of
of
age.
all,
Yeah.
I write Kashmir Barnes, and it was written
Yeah.
in the newspaper,
Oh, wow.
and it encouraged me a lot.
It was published.
It was published.
Wow, that's
Yes, yes.
amazing.
Kashmir Barnes.
That's superb, sir. But sir, one small question before we actually ask
Yes,
about teacher
yes.
training. So you just mentioned that your teacher was actually checking or going through your homework.
Yes.
Did you do your homework every day?
Yes.
You were a good student and now an amazing teacher as well.
One thing very important I would like to
Sure, sir.
mention. When we select candidates for teacher training, for teaching profession,
Yep.
we ignore their aptitude for teaching.
Okay.
Okay.
We look at their grade, but ignore the
Yeah.
tendency, natural
Capabilities.
tendency.
Right.
And when we admit them,
Yeah.
they have no tendency at all, and they don't prove to be very good teachers.
So, sir, are you trying to say that there are very few people who can actually be teachers or have the aptitude of being very patient while they're actually teaching? Because I believe teachers require a lot of focus, they require a lot of patience, they require a lot of hard work and homework as well.
Yes.
So, are you trying to say that majority of the teachers lack this focus and patience?
Majority of the teacher lack this capability.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually coming from an ex-principal for government college, which is actually meant to train and educate teachers. So,
And I feel like this is why he's taken on to this, right?
Yes.
Because he did feel like the need. I mean, it is definitely an amazing profession to be a teacher. But then again, it's not only degrees that count. You really have to have the capabilities, like Sir mentioned, and that is why he introduced. And now Pakistan has this thing called teachers training. But Sir, when we talk about teachers, and Shahzad and I have spoken to teachers, when we talk about teachers training, they get offended. They think that they are the trainers of the society. Why do they need to be trained?
Yeah.
I mean, how do you deal with that sort of mindset?
No, training is very essential.
Yes.
It polishes, but there should be aptitude in the candidates, in the teachers.
okay.
Yes.
Then training polishes it. Without training, we are nothing.
Of course.
Teachers are born, but training polishes them. We need training.
No, so that's great that we need training. I'm sorry that I'm barging in, but what she's trying to convey over here is that teachers who are already teachers and
Yeah.
who have never ever gone into a teacher training program, they kind of, they do not feel very good about getting into training or, getting classes from somebody else because they themselves are teachers and they call themselves teachers. And then they have this pride as well. Teachers are very respectful. I believe that as well. But then at the same time, why do you think that they feel a little bad and awkward about going into or enrolling for training classes?
Yes, I may tell you. Once we were called, all the principals of the Davian at Lahore,
Okay, sir.
and that was, Secretary of Education was there.
All right.
And we were given 5 minutes to speak on refreshers courses.
Okay.
I told that refreshers courses are of no use because most of the teachers have no aptitude for teaching.
Okay.
It is must. And my message is that while admitting the students into training college, their aptitude must be checked.
Yes. How do we do that?
How can we check the aptitude?
We can check their expression.
Okay.
This is the best way how to express.
Right.
Yes, this is.
Okay. Expression counts, of course.
yes.
Because then you have to, Shahzad, it's actually such a hard profession. When I was little, I mean, of course, the first exposure that you have to any sort of profession is a teacher, of course,
Yeah.
because you go to school, right?
Yeah.
But imagine it is so hard to take care of a toddler, especially because I know my niece, she's a firecracker and there is no stopping her, mashallah, mashallah.
Yeah.
But imagine 20 or 40 kids with different types of personalities, with different types of, high or low notes, and one teacher has to take care of all of them individually and be nice to them as well, train them as well. It's such a hard job, I mean.
Exactly. But sir, I'm very sorry, but, and you might not like the question which I'm going to ask you, but since you are here, so you'll have to answer it. I'm sorry that I'm putting you under hard spot. So not very recently, 3 or 4 years ago, there was this report which actually shared that there were few people who actually went to different schools, primary, and what happened was that they actually made sure that all the teachers were present. They gave them a test which was from a textbook for class 5, 5th grade textbook, and they couldn't even pass that. So how do you think that students can actually question the credibility of a teacher? Because students should be given a right to ask whether that teacher is capable of teaching us or not. And students do not have this right.
Yes, students have right
Okay.
to question,
Okay.
to ask the question, and teacher should encourage them,
Yep.
not discourage them, encourage them.
Exactly.
But that's not what we have witnessed. What we have witnessed is that the teachers do not like students asking questions.
It's a sorrowful aspect of our life.
Exactly.
Yeah. Teacher should encourage the students
Yep.
to question,
Okay.
invite the question. Yes. One thing very important, discipline is education for the adventure of life.
All right.
If there is discipline, there is education.
Of course. Yeah.
Where there is no discipline, there is no
No
education.
education, right.
Discipline counts very much.
Exactly. But sir, adding on to that, I'm very sorry that all of these questions are popping out and they're not very positive. So imagine that whenever we talk about teachers and the kind of training they give to everybody, that's great. But imagine, don't you think that if kind of keep a check on their educational backgrounds before even inducting them to be teachers, that will be great. Because checking the educational background and then inducting somebody into a system who's actually going to be a great teacher works out. But other than that, what I've witnessed so far in life is that if nobody's getting a job, the first thing they'll look for is to be a teacher, and which I believe that has ruined the entire picture of a teacher. The way we have perceived teachers, the way we've been taught by our parents that a teacher is a spiritual father, he's a parent, and whatnot. But unfortunately, when you have this thought in your head that a person who's right in front of you
Right.
couldn't get any other job, he's a teacher now. Don't you think that it's very unfair for teachers? And then at the same time, that all of this unfair thing is done by the teachers themselves as well.
But before, I'm so sorry, sir, before you answer that, I feel like, Shahzad, you unintentionally sort of highlighted a very dark picture as well.
Yep.
Because we lack teachers. I mean, hundreds of thousands of, and you know the exact amount, millions of students are even out of school at the age where they should be going to classes, but unfortunately they're either working on streets and we're not. That is because we sometimes even do have buildings, but we don't have teachers. That is why there's always a need for teachers. But that was on a side note.
And
But
there are
yes.
only two people, there are only two categories back in United Kingdom as well, where they actually refer to as teachers. That is where they refer to teachers by calling them sir.
Sir.
So one is doctor and the other one is teacher. So these are two amazing professions.
Absolutely.
But over here it's different. Why?
So it's very different. I mean, when you're talking about how teachers should, what Shahzad means to say is, whoever doesn't get a job, they become a teacher. Is it fair enough for students?
It's very self aspect of our life. We should not go into this profession
Right.
only just to seek
Just to
job.
earn money.
No.
Right.
It is very sacred profession. It is prophetic profession.
Right, of course. And I feel like, of course, you should only become a teacher. You very rightly mentioned, sir, when you're passionate about it. But yes, you are an amazing teacher, but there are so many other aspects to your life as well. You're a painter, you're a poet, you're a writer. You, mashallah, are doing some amazing work. Here's one of your oil paintings. Can you?
Yeah.
You have a longer arm. So
Yeah, don't worry. I have a selfie stick. Ladies and gentlemen, this is actually made by Rahman Saab as well.
Wow, this is
And,
beautiful.
imagine that you actually kind of keep on practicing and rehearsing and tapping onto, some other fields as well. So
Right.
this is what he does in his free time as well. It's great to have a teacher who can oil paint. Yeah, that's great, sir, as well.
Is this an oil painting?
Iron pen.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, this is beautiful.
And sir, you've actually, you're a poet as well.
Yes.
So since you are here, I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity and request you to share a poem with us as well.
Can you
you.
please
Please go
recite?
ahead.
Thank you. Yes.
पोएम सुनाएं सर कोई अच्छी सी सर ये
This is spiritual melodies
Okay.
written by me.
Oh, wow.
And its foreword has been written by Raja Dr. Ikram Azam,
Okay.
famous educationist.
exactly
I would like to recite a poem entitled Education.
Okay.
yeah
Perfect discipline is education. Perfect discipline is education, a mighty mission with dedication. Mighty mission
with dedication
with dedication. Enlightenment illuminates the soul. Enlightenment
illuminates the soul.
illuminates the soul, flashes its light on the path of goal. Flashes its light on the path of goal is scholastic journey from darkness to light. The development of logical might. Logical might.
Yeah.
The light of knowledge creates awareness.
exactly
The light of knowledge creates awareness, opens the vista of graceful fairness. Knowledge links creature with the creator.
wow
Wow.
Knowledge links creature
with the creator
with the creator. Removes ignorance as a liberator. Removes ignorance as a liberator. Raises mankind by purification.
wow
By purification. وَيُزَكِّيهِمْ وَيُعَلِّمُهُ الْكِتَابَ وَالْحِكْمَةَ. Purification. Raises mankind by purification. Awards the honor of glorification.
wow
Awards the honor of
glorification
glorification. The status of a nation lies in learning. The status of a nation lies in learning.
Indeed.
wow feel like in a class
Its seekers for it always yearning. Its seeker for it always yearning. Backward nations lag behind in the race.
wow सर वो अंग्रेजी मुकर्रर कैसे कहेंगे
Backward nations lag behind in the race. The global advancement lose its grace, lose its grace. The call of the time is high technology. The call of the time is high technology. Those survival lies in ideology.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's brilliant. Sir.
That's absolutely amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And this can only actually come from an educated liberal mind.
One more.
Yes, please.
Beauty of heart.
Beauty of heart.
Beauty
okay.
of heart.
Yes.
It counts very much.
Yeah, of course.
Beauty of heart is a blessing. Keeps the human soul refreshing.
Wow.
Keep the human
Kya baat hai,
soul
sir.
refreshing. Truthfulness is the real beauty. Truthfulness is the real beauty. Serves us as a righteous duty. Heart throbbing at every misery. Heart throbbing at every misery. Commands beauty at highest degree.
Wow.
Commands beauty
At
at
highest
highest degree. The enlightenment of the soul. Beauty, enlightenment of the soul. Purely plays a spiritual role.
Wow.
Purely plays a spiritual role. Quranic teachings purify the soul. The best of creatures achieves the goal.
Right.
The best of creatures achieves the goal. Beauty reflects glow on the face.
Wow.
Beauty reflects glow on the face. The playfulness is full of grace. Playfulness.
Right.
The playfulness is full of grace. Inner beauty is heavenly light. Inner beauty is heavenly light. Truly develops a divine light.
Wow.
Piety lies in purification. Piety
Lies in
lies in
purification.
purification. Man is crowned with glorification.
Wow.
Man is crowned
With glorification.
with glorification. Have a heart, divide up my life. Have a heart, divide up my life. Be humble and hate avarice. Be humble and hate avarice. Thank you so much.
Wow, sir, that's
absolutely brilliant.
Yeah,
Absolutely
I
brilliant.
actually do not have even words to explain how I feel right now. But thank you very much, sir,
Thank
for
you.
being with us. It's wonderful to
Thank you,
have you.
sir.
And I believe that for all of those teachers who are out there, it is very important for everybody. It is important for me and Shiza to work on our show as well. It is very important for us to do our own research, to make sure that every other day when we wake up, we are getting better in life and we're moving towards our goal. Same goes for teachers, same goes for everybody from every walk of life, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely. And you know, one other message that I am deriving from this segment, Shahzad, it's actually so inspiring to see someone for whom age is just a number. I mean, there's no retirement. He's still doing what he loves to do. He's an educationist. He's writing. He's painting. So I feel like everyone should have something to do that they're passionate about, right?
Exactly. But then at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, before we actually wrap up this segment, there's one more very important thing which we really need to mention over here. So Waheed Murad Sahab, a legendary, amazing actor, performer, and he's actually ruled over the cinema as well. It's his birthday today. We are remembering him. Please go ahead, take a listen to one of his songs. And when you guys will come back, we'll actually move on towards travel photography. Let's do that.
Stay tuned.
The Faisal Mosque is the largest mosque in Pakistan. Located in the national capital city of Islamabad. Completed in 1986, it was designed by Turkish architect Vedat Daloke to be shaped like a desert Bedouin's tent. It is situated at the north end of Faisal Avenue, putting it at the northernmost end of the city and the foot of the Margala Hills, the westernmost foothills of the Himalayas. It is located on an elevated area of land.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. For everybody who just got tuned into PTV World, you watching World This Morning with Shiza Hashmi and Shahzad Khan. Earlier today, ladies and gentlemen, when we opened up the show, it was about teacher training. Then we moved on where we were actually kind of celebrating the birthday of our chocolate hero as well. And other than that, now we've actually moved on to travel photography and how important the role it plays. Because whenever we see all of these amazing pictures from all over the world, the first thing we would love to do is to visit that particular place.
Of course.
And especially Pakistan with being blessed with so many amazing peaks in the north and the highest cold deserts and then sea itself. So I believe that we bring a lot of variety for the people who actually love to travel the world, and we bring it onto the table, and then they're loving it. So we have actually been joined by an amazing travel photographer from Netherlands. And I will let Shiza do this because of the fact that she's native to him in the first place. And before Shiza is actually going to say something, I actually need to thank Shiza's mother.
Oh, yeah.
Auntie ji, assalamu alaikum, and thank you very much for sending me that amazing suit. And I'm definitely
It was
going to wear
long
it
due.
on the show too as well. But thank you very much.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this person has come all the way from Netherlands for the first time in Pakistan.
Wow.
And he is seen, to be honest, more of the north than we have together. This happens to be none other than Jaap Kroon. Welcome, hoe gaat het man? Goedemorgen.
Goedemorgen.
How do you like in Pakistan?
Well,
How do I like Pakistan?
Yes, it's your
Whoa.
first time.
It's my first time, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm really enjoying it.
Really
Yeah,
enjoying
yeah.
it? Okay.
well, thank you very much for joining us, and it's wonderful to have you, on the show.
Thank
and
you.
yeah, I like the first part where, me and Shiza have always agreed on, speaking the same language which everybody understands in the room. But yeah, you can actually give her a little bit
All
of space.
right.
But it's great.
No, but we just, exchanged greetings and I asked him
Yeah.
how he was.
But first thing, your crew, your name is very amazing. It's good to pronounce. I feel great. But other than that, how is it to be in Pakistan? And other than that, when did you start to travel photography?
Travel photography is about 3 years ago. I was for an assignment in Vietnam.
Okay.
And then I enjoyed traveling there in that country so much. And then, the virus gets you.
Yeah.
And never get loose.
Okay.
Never.
So the first camera you used while you were in Vietnam, which camera was it?
Oh, I was the Canon.
The Canon.
The
So you
Canon.
already had a professional camera
Yeah,
with you?
at that moment, yeah.
Yeah, and then did you actually, went on to YouTube to learn a few tutorials, how to set the aperture, the color, the brightness, and all of that? How did you learn that?
Yeah, I'm a self-made photographer.
Okay.
I started really with a Canon,
Okay.
and on the automatic stand,
Yeah.
and then walking in nature, making pictures, and then to the YouTube,
Yeah.
and then you learn more about your camera. And
Wow. So we even have pictures from your recent visit. You actually went to the north of Pakistan. You went to Swat, you went to Hunza, you went to Gilgit-Baltistan, you went to Azad Kashmir. You went to a lot of places.
Yeah.
Please share your experiences.
Whoa. That is a difficult question because there are so many.
There's so
experiences.
many? Okay.
Yeah, but
So
the best
many.
ones, the best ones.
Well, now one of the best thing was I started traveling solo. to Lahore, and from there to Faisalabad, and from there to Islamabad.
Wow.
And then I was thinking, oh yeah, maybe it's a little difficult to travel solo alone to the north.
Yeah.
Right.
And there is a big community with Pakistani travelers, and on the Facebook. And there I met Azif from the Bravo Adventures,
Okay.
that company, and his philosophy about promoting Pakistan, that inspired me.
Yeah.
And through there we started the collaboration.
Okay.
And from there we started with a team, a whole team,
Yeah.
with a lot of nice people, Amida, Umar, Mansour. And then we traveled through, and also Amir, and we first starting traveling to the Kashmir.
Okay.
And that was my really first experience in nature. I was breathtaking, almost crying.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, really, so beautiful.
So when you saw the valleys, when you felt that, how was that for you?
And especially coming from the Netherlands. I mean, Nederland is heel mooi. I mean, Maastricht and Amsterdam toch? I'm just telling him, Amsterdam is so beautiful and
I want to
Maastricht
tell
one of
him
the
the
cities
same.
as well.
What was
Maastricht is a city.
it? Maastricht.
Yeah. So do you
that's it.
like Pakistan? I mean, of course, I'm not comparing, but there's a difference. How do you like it, though, coming from such a beautiful place itself?
Yeah, but the Netherlands is flat.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, Maastricht, a little bit hill.
Yeah,
but and here the mountains are huge. So that is stunning. That
Okay.
is breathtaking.
Well, that's great. Now, for a person who's actually a travel photographer who's traveling, what he sees from his own eye, whatever he or she experiences, he actually or she needs to put it into the lens the same way.
Yeah.
So how difficult does it get at times to get that right picture, which is actually going to express the way you perceived that entire surrounding, so that everybody can experience that?
Yeah. You have to. I think you have to divide it in two parts. I'm also a people photographer.
Okay.
So I did Lahore. I was walking at the fruit market, at the vegetable market, and then the inspiration is there at the split second, and you see it, and you see the people, you watch, and your camera is there, and they smile.
Right.
And most of the time, always ask permission for the photo.
Wow.
Oh, okay. That's actually very ethical. A lot of photographers don't do that.
No, I'm not the Siddiqui guy.
Okay, so
But because I love the interaction. For me,
Yeah.
traveling is interact with the people, with the locals, and listen to their stories. And when I do the sneaky thing and run away, I don't hear the story.
Yeah,
so let
of
me ask you a
course.
hard question. Do you think that we both are photogenic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Absolutely, that's a good news. This made my day. Yeah.
Absolutely made it. So now we're going to ask you some basic questions that we ask every foreigner coming to Pakistan for the first time. Have you tried Pakistani food?
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Which one do you love the most?
Well, that's also really difficult because in Lahore I had the best paya and also the best lassi. But I was in a private party at the Ashura. I had the best halim.
Oh, okay.
Homemade halim. Whoa, delicious.
Well, but that's really not a party. It's like a religious ceremony
Yeah.
Yeah, but-
for Shiites.
yeah, okay.
So people just take it
I
differently.
was invited.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
of course.
But it's great, and the kind of conversation we were having, I'm loving it as well.
Yeah.
And there's some part of me which is actually telling me that you're going to be very fluent in Urdu. The way you remember all these names, Manzoor and Umar and Paya and Lassi, For somebody who's visiting Pakistan for the first time, I'm very inspired and
Yeah.
impressed with you. But other than that, for travel photographers at times, they have to go through quite a lot of hardships. For example, they have to wait all night, probably to get the same shot which they actually have seen in the picture, because you definitely do take inspiration from other photographers.
Yeah.
And you would love to do the kind of work they do. So first of all, I would love to know the photographers who've inspired you, and then how hard it gets to get the same frame, the same picture every time.
At the moment, there is one guy from America. His name is Joe Greer.
Okay.
He's very young, and he inspires me a lot.
Wow.
He's getting the real life, the actual life in one frame.
Yeah.
And in high speed. And so I'm not the guy, I'm not a photographer who's sitting all night or waiting.
Waiting for the
lapses.
sunrise,
No, yeah, that's nice. Okay, that I will do, but not with big lenses. And
Yeah.
I'm a really fast photographer. What I see is frame it, get it, and
That's it.
yeah.
So teach a little about how to make a frame, because I believe everybody needs to learn that over here. Yeah. So whenever you see, okay, you're actually looking through the lens.
Yeah.
And you really need to know, that okay. So then, where do you think that the object needs to be in the frame because we take a lot of pictures. It's a different era these days. We take a lot of selfies.
Yeah.
And everybody wants to get a great selfie every time they take one. How do you think that we can do that?
But there's too much selfies in Pakistan or not.
Yes. Pakistanis are crazy about selfies.
But the first tip is when you buy a camera, start with a prime lens. It's not a zoom lens. The zoom lens is making you lazy.
Okay.
So if I am to take a selfie, is this the right way to take one?
I don't know professional photographers would know about selfies, to be honest.
Yeah, it's still not good. Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, please go on.
Okay.
Okay, but the prime lens is the best. So you know what's in the what your size is.
Okay.
And then yeah, you have to walk and look. And when I see the two of you, I don't want the TV myself in the frame. So that's. And it's also, for example, the 50mm lens.
Yeah.
This is the normal view of the human being, what I see, and that's what I'm framing.
Am I still in the frame?
You're still in the frame. You see also.
All right, so for beginners, do you
Yeah.
suggest, manual settings or auto ones? Because to be honest, whenever I studied journalism, and for one course I had to do a lot of photography,
Yeah.
which I was not very fond of, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I was always making blunders. So I was just, resorting to auto-tuning. Is that a good option for beginners?
You can. The best thing is to start with aperture.
Okay.
Aperture priority. That's. I also work a lot with aperture, and most of the professional photographers they work with aperture priority because in this time the cameras are that good.
Oh, yes, of
and
course.
So
Which is why I've actually got a question for Shiza. So Shiza, since you're a photographer yourself,
I
you're
know,
a
I'm
blogger,
not.
you're
Okay.
a blogger and whatnot. So I'm just going to ask you a simple thing.
All
Okay.
right.
And it's all right if you don't know
Okay.
about it, So
No shame.
what do you think DSLR is? So how do we actually? What is D? What is S? What is L? What is R?
I used to know that.
Yeah, so I'm going to let people know and
right.
make sure that I'm correct. So it is
Okay.
digital single lens reflection. Is that it?
I hope so.
Yeah, it is that.
Right, so we're going to give you the benefit of
Yes,
doubt. You're
so my
absolutely
producer
right.
says that my question is right, and I've seen a lot of people, buying DSLRs but not knowing what it can do.
I was one of them.
Really? Yeah. But did you take good pictures?
I don't think so. I'm not a very good photographer, to be honest.
But
I don't
but
think I have the
the
eye
DSLR
for
is a
it.
little bit old-fashioned.
Okay.
It's old-fashioned.
Yeah.
So,
What's
so
new?
what's new?
I'm using the Fuji. Only Fuji is the system camera.
Oh, all right.
And
Speaking
it's
of,
smaller, it's lighter for traveling. It's much better.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
for
it
sure.
doesn't break the pixels or anything? Or
No, it's really good.
High resolution?
Fuji. The Fuji film. Yeah. it's
Okay,
really
so
great.
what's the difference in DSLR and Fuji?
It's the inside. The DSLR has the original mirror.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the system camera has sensor.
oh, right.
So whenever the light's down, the flash is going to pop up itself.
No
So-
flash.
Yeah, I'm not able to understand then. So then make us
So
understand
mirror
what's
does
the
the job.
difference.
Yeah, please
We're
explain.
still talking about DSLRs over here.
The mirror and the lens are doing the
Okay,
job.
yeah. Inside the camera.
Inside the camera, but
Yeah.
the mirror, that's the old-fashioned thing.
Yeah.
Like the guy was from the old-fashioned
yeah, got it.
movies.
Oh,
then-
right. Got it.
But that system is still working. It's still the same.
a little modified, but
But
on the-
modified, yeah.
Oh, all right. The
But
foundation
in the
is old.
system camera is the sensor. It's a small computer.
Okay.
inside.
So let me ask you, what are the most common mistakes photographers make these days?
Oh,
Ooh.
this
Light.
is a hard one. Light?
Yeah,
Because you've
light.
only mentioned one photographer who inspires you. There are a million of photographers
Yeah,
out there.
but-
So they must be doing something wrong.
Bresson is one of the guys. Also, is a formal French guy.
Okay.
And he's really amazing.
Wow. So,
All
no,
right,
no,
so-
but what are the most common mistakes photographers make?
Photographing in the dark.
Photographing in the dark.
They don't use the light, the natural light.
Yeah, but
And
at
they
times-
should? You're saying they should use it?
Yeah, natural light is the most beautiful light there is.
And
Okay.
And that's the light after the sunrise and before the sunset.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's the most beautiful light there is.
Exactly. But then, for all of those people who actually, make these very common mistakes, they do get to learn. And we have seen a lot of YouTubers over here in Pakistan are doing some amazing work.
Yeah.
Yes.
But when
Absolutely.
you go back to your studio, do you edit your pictures?
Yeah,
A little bit?
a little bit.
What colors do you use for toning or grading?
Whoa. For me, it's not the really the fence. A little, how do you say that in English? A little, put the colors out of it.
Okay, you can explain it in Dutch and she can actually
Yeah,
translate
as
that.
if. Okay.
Yeah, we'll try.
Graduate.
Do you want to fade it? Are you saying you fade the colors a
No,
little?
no, yeah, they are not really green.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's bit green.
So there's a cool effect on it.
Yeah, a little cool effect.
A little
All
cool.
right.
It's a little film effect also.
But you know, Shazad, actually, you brought up a very good point, editing.
you.
Because lately, I'm having so much trouble with editing. Because you mentioned I have a blog, but all of the other bloggers are so good at it, and I don't know how to do it. Because I came across a picture of a blogger from Amsterdam. She had these pictures in front of the canals and in front of the in the Dam Square itself, and she did sky replacement. She put in a pink sky, and she also painted the buildings and everything, and it was so pretty. I have the pictures at the same places, but mine are so dull and boring.
But your pictures are real.
Yeah, they're raw. I mean, but to be honest, I mean, editing does look really attractive.
Yeah, but not when it's overdone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I hate it overdone.
Exactly. But thank you very much, your crew, for being with us. It was lovely to have you. And it was wonderful to host you. And you've loved Paya and you've loved the hospitality
yeah.
of Pakistani people. So it's great.
Absolutely.
And keep on rocking.
And Pakistan is safe.
Yeah.
Don't forget to
Oh,
mention.
thank you so
because,
much for saying that.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you very
really.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for saying that. And ladies and gentlemen, there's more evidence to that. Sri Lankan cricket team is over here in Pakistan. Other than that, there are a few stunt riders and drivers who are actually from South Africa and Sweden and whatnot. They're over here in Pakistan as well. Everybody's enjoying it. Everybody's loving it. Recently, I went to Nuran. I met a lot of foreigners too as well. So yeah, I believe that we're moving in the right direction under the leadership of Mr. Imran Khan, our premier.
Absolutely.
But then at the same time, there's one more interesting news that on Thursday, all of those stunt riders are actually going to be over here on the show. And then on 6th of October, it's going to be the biggest stunt show in the history of Pakistan as well. So I want everybody to be there.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, if there's anything you need to ask, write to us on our Facebook page with the name of
Well, this morning.
on Twitter,
Well, this morning without G.
Daily Motion and YouTube.
Well, this morning.
And the repeat you can catch at
5 past 11 p.m. tonight. Till the next time, 1, 2, 3. Good
morning.
morning.
Goedemorgen.